Well, hello again, and welcome to another update video. So for this one, some of the stuff that I've done over the past week is actually made some additions and some changes. One of the pain points that I was having last week was the after my the implementation that I did using the advanced locomotion system V4 was that if you remember when we were looking at one of the weapons, especially in first person, the pistol was pretty much overlapping the crosshair quite a bit, and it's kind of peeling off, and it looks all right when it's in this position, but once you start moving up, it's just like look at that, you can't really see anything behind it. So this is the new result. So now it's a little bit more in line with what you'd expect, being able to see the crosshair and um, but at the moment it is only pointing the weapon, so it's doesn't have an ADS or anything like that. So it is pretty much as this is where it's at. So today, after I'll show another one of the updates, I'm gonna try and do the same thing for the rifle, because the rifle is also it's 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 not as bad as the pistol in the terms of it doesn't overlap the crosshair. So you know, it's yeah, it's a lot better for positioning when it comes for a first-person game. So not as bad, but we'll try and hopefully adjust it a little bit. So especially when you point it up like this, maybe kind of bring it down a little bit, and that's what I'm hoping for. And I'll show you what I did for the pistol to adjust that, and that is using the assets from ALS. I haven't used a custom anything custom. All right. So as I mentioned, one of the changes was added the climbability, or it comes in the marketplace as the custom movement package, if I recall correctly. So it is a custom movement component, what it's called. So I think if you search for custom movement on the marketplace, and I can take a quick look at it and see if I can find it for anybody that's interested. Let's take a quick peek, and custom movement. Right, so it's this package here. It's called custom movement, and I believe um, it was free at one point, one of the months. So that was great to have that as a free package. But anyways, so let's take a look at this and how it behaves uh, in the current world. So now you have a ladder. So basically, you just go up to it. And one of the things that I was running into with with ALS V3 was it kept switching to third person when I was entering the ladder, and now I managed to do it so it's in first. Also, one of the things that I've done is and one of the issues that I was running into was that when I was in custom movement, you could still move your yaw, uh, left to right, and like all around. And what that would do is actually generate one of the item notifiers when you're rotating the player. So therefore, you would hear like a step. So that wasn't very very realistic when you're on a ladder, along with being able to move your head very far. So I did limit the yaw, so that way you can only move your head when you're in this custom movement this far. So that way you don't go past the point of actually needing to rotate the player. So now you can just climb, and it actually behaves really well when you come off of off of the ladder, and let's take a look. I'll just go up this one here just to show you how it works when you get off the ladder. So getting off the ladder works really nicely, and then getting on the ladder, there's also the need of holstering the weapon, so that can be done as well, and that's going to be probably next in line. But then you climb down the ladder, it looks pretty nice, so I'm pretty happy with that result. Alright, so that's those are some of the updates, and I'll show you what I did to adjust the pistol to look like this. So let's take a look at the anim graph for this, and one thing just to show you how you get there is let's go to the anim graph here, and this is probably familiar to some of you if you use ALS v4. Okay, so most of everything that's, or I think everything that's done on the upper body is in this overlay layer. So the overlay layer is going to have its overlay states, and now you see here you have the rifle, pistol, bow, and everything else that you see from the drop down. Now what I did is added this new one, which is a new pistol, and also in order to add that, and what you want to make sure is that your overlay state, and this is an enum that you would want to search for. So if you search for in your ALS v4 for let's take a look and just look for overlay state, you should find an enum here, and within the enum there is all your overlay states. So what I did is I added this new pistol, and so that way I can select it here, and so that way it knows when I have the overlay state of new pistol, it would go into this new state here. Now new pistol is basically identical to what the regular pistol is, and in the end you're gonna have a similar setup for all the other stuff that you're gonna add. Now the pistol two-hand states here is what I did is I've disconnected all of these because, well, I kind of like it from kind of a realistic sort of feel. It kind of takes away your mouse when you want to go into ADS mode. So if I just wanted to always have the pistol pointed, so you don't have to like if you want to holster it, it'd be something special, like press H or something like that to holster the pistol. So that way I only have the aiming state. So basically the aiming state is a copy of the regular pistol two-hand aiming that it comes with ALS. So in the two-hand aiming, you will see everything is exactly the same. I haven't made any changes when it comes to apply the additive. I think this is the only place that I might have made a small change to try to put it to the secondary motion to have an alpha of 0.5. I think it might have been 1. The original one, if I recall correctly. Oh, actually, it's also 0.5. Okay, so but the change that I've done is and let's take a look. I'm not in the right one. Let's take a look at new pistol states, and pistol 2 and arming. So what I've done, the one thing when it comes to the up and down movement is that is controlled by this aim sweep. So what I've done is I've made a copy of that, and let me show you how it is now and how it is compared to the original. So and let me find the original as well. So we have the sweep and this one. Okay, so if you're on frame 0, the original, especially from the side, because that's what we want to look at, looks like this. Now the one that I've edited actually looks like this. So as you can see, I tilted the head backwards a little bit, and my assumption is that to the head bone is where the camera manager has the camera attached. And I haven't dug too deep into the camera manager for this project, but that is my assumption. Oh, hey, Laura, how you doing, man? Uh, good to have you on. I was just showing a little bit of yeah, I'm on Unreal right now. Been a long time indeed. I was just showing a little bit of some of the changes that I've done to address something with this package for motion. If you're familiar with Unreal, it's called Advanced Locomotion System. So yeah, as I was saying, what I did is I just added a rotation to the head and the neck, so that way you can see this one is tilted back, and I think it was 20 degrees that I tilted it back. So that way I didn't have to touch the hands, because when I touched the hands, especially like the clavicle and the upper arm, it I was having some issues with the hands not having a good grip on the gun, and I don't think there is a proper, or at least the IK wasn't working properly for me. So that's why I just went ahead and it might be a little hackish, but just tilting the head seemed to have worked. So yeah, that's one of the things that I want to show you, and just at the beginning of the stream. So now, Laura, how you doing? Hopefully you've been good. I think I'm done with my introductory spiel for people that so if um, you know, if people watch the stream, they can get something out of it in the beginning. But yeah, it's you know, Unreal has been great for me. It's um, I'm really happy with the move. Like, uh, yeah, it's you know, I mean, I'm kind of a noob myself. You know, if you were to count in amount of hours and time invested over the past 4 years is how long I've been using Unreal. A little bit over 4 years, and but I mean, things are just make so much sense, you know, when using it, and yeah, it's like the nicety of having, like, for example, the climbing, right? One of the things that I've done this week, and I showed at the beginning of this stream, is I've implemented, you know, climbing. So now this one is working out pretty nice. I'm pretty happy with the result, and that was as easy as just dropping in a into my main character, is just dropping this custom movement component, and then doing a little bit of the implementation that was shown by the developer. So it's well, actually, I'm not sure if they provide for V4, for the ALS Advanced Locomotion System V4, but the Discord channel for V4 has quite a bit of videos on how to get that in. And yeah, I'm not sure if when was the last time you've been on one of the streams, but right now there were quite a bit of things added. You know, like the mission system now works out pretty nicely. You know, kind of tied into the inventory, to to the dialogue system. Like you know, currently I have this quest to find Jim, right? And there's a waypoint to whoever you want to talk to. So there's Jim, and you know, you go into a dialogue with him. So you know, you can exit out of it. The quest gets completed. So you know, I don't have it anymore in here. I have it in the completed section, and so that was another package off of the marketplace that I was able to implement into this, and be able to tie in the UI with my existing inventory component that I've implemented was really nice. So yeah, well, with MetaHuman and Megascans, I am using quite a bit of those, especially, and I guess this is something that I need to fix. You can't move once you're done talking to one of these guys. So, so yeah, I use that quite a bit, and though I do mix it up with some of the other marketplace asset packs, and so for example, there'd be like there's like a small village in the game world, so a lot of the some of the assets for that I've retextured with some of the Megascan textures. The ground right now, this is all Megascan textures. Um, this ladder, this ladder is a Megascan, I believe, and it actually I really like it because it's very nicely spaced, so it can fit in with as you can see, this custom movement component has ladders, and the way it implemented is kind of this I'm not sure if you would call it predictive animation, but when you move on the ladder, it knows the next rung on the ladder that you're going to reach for, so up and down. And so again, this this ladder was I had to scale it up a little bit, but it fitted in with the system really nicely. So there's definitely a lot of useful things on in the Megascan library. Of course, there's also some things that you want to use, but they don't really match. So I end up creating my own shaders for that. So I only use the normal for like detail, especially when it comes to like large cliffs. Um, there are some that seem to be from the same biome, same area, but there are some that are from different areas and their coloring is different, like from a desert or something like that. But but yeah, it's a great thing to have. I am very happy with Megascans, and MetaHumans is also like the biggest thing that I'm using MetaHumans is the the head, right? So and interacting with for the NPCs, right? And this would be for the friendly NPCs. So in this guy's case, this is also on a ALS system. I haven't transitioned it to the V4 just yet, but I'll do that very soon. And yeah, the nice thing is that there's a I'm not sure if you noticed the first time I interacted with him, and I'm not sure if I can do it, but there's also a plugin on that's a free plugin on the marketplace where you would generate and let's see if yeah, as you can, if you look closely at his mouth, there's a little bit of lip movement as well, and it's not so obvious at the moment. I think I might have it might have been in the first dialogue, but I'm able to generate like facial animation. Of course, it's not going to be anything close to something that's recorded by a professional, uh, but I don't have that kind of thousands of dollars to do it. So it's I rely on that plugin for it, and just having something moving, even though it's not perfectly aligned with what the live movements you'd expect to be is, I think just gives a little bit more of um, interactivity and realism. It's not perfect, but it is what it is. I'm pretty satisfied with it. So so yeah, that's like all these abilities, like the shaders. There's like one item in the game that is kind of a that you'd have to disable throughout. It's in one of the missions. Um, yeah, exactly, better than none. So for example, one of the things that I really like is Um, let's see, where is that? Do I still have it? And this is something that I've done recently, is the volumetric, the localized volumetric cloud, and that is actually pretty cool. So so let's see, maybe I can show you how it looks. Hopefully it still works. There's something wrong with the shaders. I guess I'll have to figure this one out. But but yeah, having that oh, okay, cool. um, well, not sure if it was for the tutorial for the fog plane or for this one. This one because that one was just a real literally like a um, um, a flat plane. This is really like um, 3D. And I'm not entirely sure what might have broken it, but I guess that's something to fix. So so yeah, then you probably noticed the the runtime virtual textures where like these things blend in just so nicely. This is awesome to me. I really like it. So so yeah, things like that are uh, are pretty cool. And like the blueprints work so easy. I mean, it's um, you find so much stuff out there. So yeah, um, and just this week, outside of my work schedule, and working around the house and all that, I was able to bring this in, like the the, the climbing the ladder, and then figuring out this fix for the weapon that was kind of driving me nuts for a little bit, and I couldn't find anything on it. And then um, you know it might be a little hackish, the way I've done it, but it works. So, and I think at the moment this is just temporary, because if I can find a proper sweep for this, I think um, that's gonna be great if I can find it. Because unfortunately, it's it was the sweep was probably done with more of a third person in mind and not so much first person. Um, so that's why I couldn't figure out any other adjustments to the aim offset that could easily fix it. And in the end, I was thinking, well, it might be just the sweep that I have to fix. So just tilting the head back a little bit in the sweep, that's what did it for me. And I'm quite happy with it. So next step, probably this coming week, is gonna be to re-implement what I previously had for projectiles, so you can actually fire the weapon, and also the animations for the weapons. So right now there's no it doesn't really do anything, and and that's what I'm hoping to get in next week, to have the animation. And one of the things is, and that could be actually something fun to do in this stream, is to get in the binoculars, because right now it's like, whoa, oh, what is that? Well, it does what it's supposed to, right? It puts the binoculars over your eyes, and you can move them around and see something through them. but you're not really uh, looking through the binocular, right? Or um, and you know, in this case, for this binocular, once you press the right mouse button, you would expect this to happen. You know, this kind of ADS mode. But for the weapon, like in the case of the regular pistol, you know, this is the state where you're just in like this kind of holstering type of placement. But then you have to press the right key to go into this mode, and it's not quite ADS to me, I would think. Um, so I'll try and figure something out for that. Yeah. Um, so now that I think about it, I'm trying to figure out the binoculars and what could be done for this. First of all, I'll try and change the mesh because it's fun to have that one, but luckily I have a this Explorer's Kit package, and it has a pretty decent looking binocular. So let's take a quick look at it. There it is. That's pretty nice. Now how I'm gonna look at this, that's a different story, but let's see what we can do. Maybe at least we can create the blueprint and attach a camera to it, and um, I'll think about if oh yeah, my pleasure. I'm glad to see you on the stream. And so yeah, talking about this, um, I'm just kind of going through my head right now, and what can be done to get this going. And I believe I already have some of the code in place, so I think I can poach some of it and add it to this. So let's take a look. Let's show this in folder view. So what I'll do for this is let's see, we have it in binoculars here, and these are the animation examples. But yeah, I might just keep it here. So let's create a new blueprint class, and it's gonna be of type actor BP underscore, and let's call this binoculars. Okay, so to this, let's add the mesh itself. So add that in. Let's make that the default root. And let's see, we want to change that overlay, the mesh for that overlay state. So let's see, where is the overlay states? Which one of the classes has it? Alright, so there we go. I've actually relabeled this as a grandparent, a parent, and the child. So the child is, in my case, and maybe this could be helpful to somebody else. So the ALS v4 comes by standard. This is the kind of the what would you call it, the forefather of everything. So it starts like this ALS base character BP. Then I've set one to be like the main character, and this would be like the grandparent. And it starts off with just the basics. And I want to use this to create the enemies, because the enemies don't need a whole lot. They just need to be able to fire and a weapon. And off of the grandparent, let's see, where is the parent? Trying to find that. So off of that, I have the parent, and the parent can have actually, sorry, the parent would be the one for all the NPCs, you know, my game character, because you know they're gonna need some stats. They're gonna need a custom movement. Potentially, they'll be able to follow you up up ladders, and the grapple component for combat. And then I have the main character, which is my player, and this guy has a few other things that are not going to be in the NPCs, and that's namely um, like the simple icon system, which is this is another off of the marketplace where you have a little icon, either like a gear for maybe a tool or like a little bit of a kind of a fork and a knife for something that you eat, and then a perception stimuli source, and so that way you generate a stimuli to be detected by enemies, and it inherits everything from everything else from the other players. So and you know at this point it can have some special sets in the input graph, and a lot of like the where I have the you know limiting the pitch and the yaw angles when I enter a ladder. These kind of register interactable when I look at an item to know which one to highlight and for me to be able to pick up. So so that's how I've kind of broken them down. It might seem a little bit convoluted, but at least to me it made sense. You know, you have kind of the grandparent of everything, and you know then you have the parent that all your you know the NPCs are going to come off of, the enemy class is going to come off of, and your main character is going to come off of. So hopefully that makes sense. Alright, let's take a look and go back to our fun and games here with the binoculars. So along with the binoculars for this one, what I'm going to add is, but one thing that I want to check first, and this is something that I should have done, is, and actually I closed the one class that had it, to update the held object. Let's see, where was that? Held, nope, what was it? Overlay state, and on overlay state change, I keep messing this up wherever the let me do a quick find because I literally just had it open. So where we update the held object, so we can set the binocular from its current current mesh, which is that little I don't know, like a low poly kind of looking thing, to something, and I think it might be in here somewhere. Yeah, so it was in the actually the grandparent. Uh, so there we go, and this update held object is where we actually set each one of the meshes. And the thing that I wanted to check for is, let's see, is it this one? It is. The one thing that I wanted to check is, I am not sure by the way it looks if this one has a skeletal mesh, has a static mesh, but it doesn't seem to have a blueprint or an actor. So let's see, can we get that in? So we have a skeletal mesh, we have a static mesh, and nothing else. So let's see if we can get also the possibility of adding an actor to this. Let's take a look, and then actor to hold, and we'll change this to a class of actor. Okay, so in this case, let's do a fourth pin, and let's check if this is valid first. If it's valid, no, I don't want that. Is valid. So let's see if it is valid. Hopefully we can attach it to similar to how this one's done, um, and attach it to instead of the current static mesh that is that those binoculars. And I'm not entirely sure if this one, I guess this one's just a completely native kind of function. So let's see. So I think that could go, because it takes up the root component of it. And then the mesh would be the parent. So let's duplicate that as well in here, and I think we can copy this one as well. Okay, so let's take a look at this and see what kind of mess we've created. And instead of binoculars, we have an actor to hold. And actually, I don't need a reference. I need a class. So this should this is also gonna need to spawn that particular one. So let's change this real quick. Let's see if we do it. Single variable array. No, it should have been. Let's try like this. So, in the case of binoculars, spawn actor from class, and the class is going to be binoculars. And then we pass it on to this. Alright, let's see what kind of mess that creates. Actually, spawn transform, this needs to be split because it needs some kind of a value, and if it's not split, it doesn't like it for whatever reason. Let's see what happens. If this is gonna break things. Oh, actually that worked. So unfortunately it spawns both of them because it still has the other one connected, I think. Let's see what that happened. So it shouldn't have. Oh yeah, no, it still has this one here. So let's set it to none. Okay. Let's see what's going on. Okay, so we have the proper the proper mesh, and so right now that one is a is the blueprint itself, and we can make some changes to it. And I want to instead of I should not have I should have had the scene here so I can move this around a little bit. And one thing that I want to add to this is a camera. And what this one's gonna do, and I'm gonna keep it the same as the binoculars, just like that. So what I'm gonna do is with this one, I'm gonna switch to it um, when changing to a binocular view. And I'm gonna make the field of view smaller. Maybe let's try 30. We'll see how that looks. Hey Chris, how's it going, dude? Welcome to the stream. Yeah, long time no chat. Well, I haven't been very consistent over the past month and a half or so with streaming. It was a lot of work on transitioning over to ALS v4, a bunch of like back-end stuff, just with the Quest work, with interacting with NPCs, facial animations, NPCs being with, using metahumans, and I've streamed some of that part. But and then the whole adulting thing, right? You gotta there's also some of that stuff that is happening in the background. But yeah, welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing okay. Okay, so one of the things that I wanted to also do is it looked like these could be, and I think I can adjust that in here. So there's a little bit of offset that I've added in a separate stream as well. I think we need to bring it down a little bit, -5, and then I can't remember if this. I think Y might be forward, so let's do maybe 10 to move it a little bit forward, just for the mesh itself when it comes stupid adulting. That it's yeah. It is part of life, unfortunately. So what are you gonna do, right? Oh yeah, there you go. So it's they seem a little too far back, so I'll have to push them forward a little bit. And the odd thing with these binoculars is that these are like the proper size. The ones that were with the ALS, they're a little bit odd in size. They're pretty big. So maybe I'll try and increase these in size and see if they fit a little bit better in hand. Actually, I'm not entirely sure if I can do it right now, just to see if it's possible. I'm not this being the parent class, I don't think I can. Yeah, oh, that sucks. I was hoping that with the Anim blueprint you can edit things on the fly like a runtime, and see some changes happening. But with the character, especially from what it looks like, you can't really do that. So I might have to just play around with it and see if see how the size that I can make this. But yeah, it's funny, like the whole adulting thing is it's tough, man. I mean, it's you have to, yeah. um, I would love some GDC. Hopefully we can get back to it. I'm not sure if they did anything this year. Um, Oh, and yeah, Snowdrop is is also on a different level as well. Have you been to GDC recently, in like the recent years, or have they even been live? Oh yeah, they did the virtual thing. Uh, yeah, I had a lot of fun at GDC. Meeting you guys. That was awesome. On one hand, it was like CryEngine was very small community-wise, but it was pretty tight knit group. So, uh, oh, they did, dude. That's awesome. How is Red Storm? You're loving it over there? Oh shoot, that's pretty big. Congrats. That's awesome. Oh, and I keep mistaking what the function was to change the camera to this one. Yeah, hopefully so. I mean, I'm working as far as I can um to uh, to get this thing going, and the the field is so big, when it comes to Unreal. I'll definitely try to submit the game, because it was a lot of fun seeing people and um, at at the place there. Yeah, I mean, nowadays I would stay away. Like one night leaving GDC, I went through the Tenderloin, and man, it was an experience. I have to tell you that at like 10 p.m. I think it was we had that thing with CryEngine where they got a lot of the developers, and they rented this like upstairs little club thing going on, and leaving that, it was, yeah, heading to the hotel. uh, um, yeah, yeah, but it was fun. I At that time, I was like, didn't really care much, so like, okay, whatever. But it also wasn't as bad, I think, as it is now. So it's not too bad. All right, so let's see if I recall correctly. I know one of these has a little bit of the functionality that I'm looking for. So let's poach some blueprint stuff. Let's see, where is it? It's right here. And where is set view target with blend? That's what it is. This is one of those nodes that I always have trouble remembering, and I think it's got to come off of the player controller. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to hopefully another GDC. And actually, this is not really the proper one. This should be in here as a custom. Um, so custom event, and this would be binoculars up. Yeah, I mean, uh, for me at work, I definitely I definitely enjoy the remote stuff, and I'm fine with it. To be honest with you, it's I've adapted to it pretty well, and it suits kind of the business. I mean, we haven't have at work being in separate office, um, but it's kind of tough because when we used to work in the office, it was um, you know con uh, you know getting in touch, even if you'd still stay away, but um, it was a lot easier, and we still do things and parties, and exactly that's the thing, we used to do that. Now we don't do any of that, and it's with kind of with the remote work, it's been a little bit more distant, with other people, and it would with being in office, it was more likely to after office, go to I don't know, like a happy hour. That sounds horrible, but or actually not horrible, but when you think of it, it's drinking related. But but it was a lot easier. People were more willing. Nowadays, it's kind of like even if you set something up, you gotta set up in advance, um, and it was amazing every single time. It was a lot of fun. But that was the only the whole thing. It's like um, nowadays it's tough to set it up because people have other plans, and or I can't make it, or they don't feel like driving. The office was there, and you'd just be, oh hey, there's a restaurant like a mile away, so let's just go to that. But but yeah, nowadays it's easier for people to like, oh yeah, no, I've got something else going on. I gotta go do shopping. I gotta do uh, so yeah. All right, let's see what can I do with this one. So the binoculars up, and what I want to do is on the right click, and I can't remember, was it aiming, or I can't remember what it was. Parent player. Uh, what was the on that action I want to call this, and equip it. Hey, Chris, thank you so much for stopping by. I'm so happy to hear from you. Yeah, do hit me up. I'm usually pretty tight to Discord, and we can definitely chat some more over there. But yeah, have fun, have fun. I'll try and do this one, and I'll probably be done for the day as well. But I'm not gonna give up on it until I have this one in place for this binoculars, because it'd be something pretty cool to have, and I've wanted to have it done. But the main success was that we I was able to get this in for the actual blueprint, and now let's make some changes to it. Yeah, dude, catch you later. Have a good one. All right. Okay. So let's take a look at this. One thing that I wanted to look at is let's check out the project settings, and I want to see the current input, and search for that particular input. So that is, let's see, do I have it labeled as something specific? Aim action. So I think that's what I need to look at the aim action, and see where that one is. Um, so it's definitely not in the grandparent. Let's see, in the base character, in the father all fathers. So aim action, there we have it. So aim action is going to be, um, let's see, it's setting up the aiming mode, and it's setting up into aiming. So at that point, So this is a it's via an interface. But I also wanted to call something into my my BP binoculars, or in my case, a weapon. So this could be a good place to test out the the ADS mode. So I'll take a look and see. I know I have a few interfaces implemented already, and let's take a look at class settings. I want to see about one of the inventory interface that I already have implemented, and I can't remember which one of them is actually has a ADS, or was it a weapon interface? BP weapon interface, melee, holster. That's not it either. Interact people. That's from a different package. But let's try this one. So I'll add a function. I'll just call it ADS. So whoever implements ADS is gonna use that. So let's try adding that to here. And first of all, what I want to do is in the class settings, I want to add my weapon interface. So then I can call ADS as a message. So when press released, and I'm just going to need to have one to exit ADS, and compile this, and let's see, why is that complaining? Let's have reference to self, and I think this might need to have a target as self. Let's see, can we promote this to a variable? Actually, no, I'm just gonna get a self. ADS, that's interesting. Oh, I guess I need to compile this one. Let's see if that fixes it. Alright, that's good. So, going back to binoculars, and binoculars up. Now I need to, in the class settings, add the weapon interface, and let's implement the ADS. Actually, I don't want to call that, but I wanted to implement it. Where is it? Event. That's interesting why I can't implement that. Why not? Oh, there we go. I guess you needed to compile it first once you add it. Alright, let's take a look and see if this does any help. So in theory, once you press the right click button, it should set the, or at least hit this node here. I'm gonna put a breakpoint on it, and let's take a quick look at it. Actually, what's this complaining about? Let's see first. Oh, maybe I should probably, I wouldn't think that I needed anything in here. File, and then why is this? That is pretty odd. Why this one is complaining about name collision. I haven't seen this yet. Have the same name target. I don't think I have that across another interface that might be shared. We'll have to figure that out. But in the meantime, let's I'll remove the ADS from here. I think it's got to be with something related to this this self ADS mode here. Hey Manga Rookie, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. Alright, and I'll have to figure out. I'm kind of rusty, a little bit rusty with the interfaces. I haven't touched these in a while. I'll see what's going on. Hey, doing well. Thanks for asking. So, what I'll do is I'll just try calling the binoculars up when when I create the object itself. So it might look a little odd, but we'll see at least if this one works properly. So binoculars up. Let's see in here. Once I spawn this and I attach it, I can do binoculars up. Why does it still complain about something? Still complains about this blueprint interface. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove that for now. Alright, let's try that and go back in here. Oh, what's going on now? BP inventory interface. Why would that have an issue with everything that's going on? Well, let's just test that out and see if it's if at least the binoculars are working properly. Alright, so that one's being hit. And yeah, we are it actually changed to the binoculars themselves. There is a little bit of a odd that you kind of have to keep the mouse button down. So that's where I need to change it. So right now you're in that using the binoculars camera, and that one, if you remember, had a field view of 40%. So or yeah, I think it's in percentage. So 40, and so it did switch to it as expected. And when I remove the when I release the right mouse button, it just goes back into its own mode where it's just hanging down. But I have to work the interface so that it switches back to the player camera. Right now, it's still stuck on the binocular camera. So that's why right now you don't see a lot of movement, because the only movement that the hands get is you moving, rotating around. But once I switch it and I hold down the right mouse button, it kind of equips the binoculars, and you can see through it. And at this point, um, the other thing that can be added is like one of those um, a to what it can be added um, to the post-process volume of the camera is kind of the same material, the same way as I have when I interact with an object. Like for example, it pretty much works the same as with these materials. Like whenever you get close to an item that you can pick up, and I unfortunately with that error that was happening, I removed the inventory interface. But let's make a quick change, and I'll show you what I mean. So this kind of sky blueprint that I have has a post-process volume, and within it there's a bunch of materials you can set up, and one of them could be this is going to be the gas mask that you're going to use for going into and I'm not sure why that doesn't show up. It should show up when so basically this material, this gas mask, if you apply it, if you look up post-process materials, you'll find quite a bunch of resources. And for example, this one, it can get pretty complicated, but it's a lot of stuff here. But you definitely have a lot of these, and especially like the chameleon. I think it's called a chameleon pack on the marketplace. Has um, a lot of already pre-built of these. And the only thing that you need to do is figure out where you want to change the texture. So in my case, it was this I managed to dig through it, and this is actually one of the materials from that chameleon pack. And I'm not sure if it's still free. It might be one of the permanently free packages, if but I might be wrong. So there's all these slot textures that I was able to change, and I can quickly show you how it looks. Currently, I'm not sure why it doesn't work on mine, but I've made some stupid changes just to try out the binoculars. So let me drag in real quick before I end a post-process volume, and I'll show you what I mean about adding something to hopefully this works. And let's make it a little bit bigger and look for materials. So in the post-process material, just add a new material, asset reference, and then I have gas mask. So let's see if I enter this. Maybe I need to set the priority a little higher. This is odd. So I'm trying to delete the sky. I'm not sure if it's yeah, there's some issues with I'm not sure exactly what's going on right now with this one. Let me try jumping into a new level, so at least what I'm hoping for is at least to show you the let's kind of not save some of these things. I'm just gonna save the binoculars, the weapons, and I think that's it. I don't want to save the rest of them just now. Maybe I'll save. I'll save them all. I'll fix it afterwards. Yeah, well, welcome to game dev. It's all a matter of just doing it, right? All right, so I'm in this test map right now, and let's see if that material actually does something. Yeah, of course, I think it's gonna do that. Just just between jumping to between levels, I think it does it. So, and now I don't have. I think the engine might have messed up. Might be messed up a little bit because it just like completely grinding to a halt. I also have a pretty outdated PC, so it's definitely not. And this project is huge. Yeah, I do have errors in here. It's but it's not. They're not related to any of the stuff that we've just done with the binoculars. I think they're more related to, or they're related to missing um, the manager mission out of this. So let me try doing this again. Might be a little slow on this piece of junk machine that I have. Yeah, it was. I have a manager mission that I have to look for whenever the level starts, and that's where the error came from. So this might be a little slow, but I'm hoping I can get to show you a post-process material. Yeah, see, this is horrible right now. I need to definitely restart the engine in my computer. Come on, you can do it. Yeah. This is going very poorly. I'm gonna try and restart this real quick and see if I can get it going as a last attempt. I don't want to end it with with not having at least this one done, you know? Okay, come on, you can do it. Yeah, and I'm not entirely sure what this DDC is doing. It's probably messing up some things, but definitely. Oh yeah, it definitely is. It it takes a little bit of focus, streaming, talking at the same time, and trying to do thinking. And I'm not entirely sure out of my weak computer how much resources it's taking, anyways. Yeah, it's I've been used to stream on Twitch, but I just gave up and I thought it might be I might be able to reach more people on YouTube because there's already some subscribers that I have, so uh, which is a lot more than I had on Twitch. So it might be easier um, to get more people uh, on streams on YouTube. Now that varies. So, but usually I just stream on the weekends, just to give updates on the project. So it's mostly for that. And a lot of work doesn't really get done during. Well, I mean, actually, I've had streams where I was it was very productive. So and that's also one of the reasons that I enjoy streaming is there's people that join the stream and they actually have very good suggestions and I do use them. So yeah, but let's take a look and see if we can get this thing working. Well, at least it works normally. Alright, so let's do a post-process volumes and let's take a look at materials. Asset reference, and this is going to be gas mask. MI gas mask. Oh, this is a mystery. And I don't think it's a scalability thing. Yeah, so see, this is what I meant. This is one of the other Chameleon, like out of the Chameleon package, where you have this. Alright, so this is compiling shaders. Yeah, so it'd be kind of like this. What I have in mind for the um, for the binoculars, right? So it'd be kind of like how you look through a binocular, maybe. I just need to find a proper texture for it. And I'm not entirely sure. I think it's something wrong with what happens is I think it's something wrong with this particular with the particular shader that I have for this gas mask. Not sure why, but all the other ones seem to be working just fine. Like you get the decals, which is really nice. Kind of like if you played Metro, you get those cracks um, in your visor. Yeah, manga. It's definitely it can become a Frankenstein if you don't have a hold on it. And but I've been able to to Frankenstein it up to something that I like. That I'm pretty satisfied with. I definitely have um, relying on some of the projects that I want for my functionality and so far so good. I mean, I'm pretty satisfied with the current contents of what I have in the project. So some of the stuff off the marketplace, some of the stuff that I've implemented, YouTube tutorials, just practicing through things. So in the end, it works out, I think. So unfortunately, I wasn't able to do the binoculars properly with that. As far as doing the proper render target, or the view blend, sorry, when you press the right mouse button. So I'll try and do some digging today and figure out what was going on with that interface, and hopefully tomorrow I'll do another update and show that off. So uh, thank you everybody so much for stopping by, and I'm gonna be signing off. I'm trying to keep the streams at most an hour and a half long, so just so that if people watch it afterwards, they don't have 5-hour streams to go through. So thanks again. Yeah, and great to know you, and thank you so much for stopping by. Hopefully, it was something interesting to watch. And once I have more of the functionality in place, maybe I'll be able to resume some of the world building and do more of the kind of building the interactions with the NPCs, kind of the texts and the missions, which is fun. So yeah, thank you so much, and hopefully I'll catch you on the next one. Definitely. All right, y'all take care, and Manga, thanks so much for stopping by.